I mean, I was told by my film professor, there are films and there are movies, and sometimes you've got to know what you're walking into.
Yeah. See, but I come from a time when movies were films.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Court of Cinema podcast. I'm Rachel Zegler, and on this show, we talk about everything film and TV, but mostly movies for the most part. I love shows, but, TV shows, they kind of get left out for the most part on the show here. And today is going to be an interesting topic. Today we're talking about the current state of original filmmaking in Hollywood, and it's a pretty controversial topic. I feel like it gets brought up a lot, but still, I want to come in here and talk about it because I have a lot to say about it that I've been holding for a little bit of time now. And before we get into it, I do have a very, very quick little shout out to give out here. We're not sponsored by anyone. I'm definitely not surprised by that. I feel like if a brand ever sponsored me, they'd be a little bit dumb. But, I'm so open to any of you guys out there. Squarespace or Mubi, please hit me up. I could use the money, I guess. But if I had to give anyone a shout out here, it'd be to you, the loyal listener. This whole entire show wouldn't be possible without you. Thank you for listening, wherever you're listening at. I do appreciate you. I do love you for that. And if you leave a review, that'd be very much appreciated. And I love you for that. But I love you already. Thank you for listening to the show. You keep the lights on. You keep the fridge full. This whole entire show is running because of you. And I want to thank you for that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, truly. And the reason for this entire episode even happening right now is because last week, over spring break, we did have a new movie come out called Snow White. It's a new live-action remake that stars a lot of very controversial actors, Rachel Zegler being the main one that's under some fire for making some pretty, I wouldn't say distasteful, but I'd say just wrong place, wrong time comments about the movie. Also, Gal Gadot is under hate for being bad at her job, which is, kind of unfair, but I guess kind of true sometimes. But the biggest thing I feel like I've been seeing a lot circulating is that Snow White is bad and we need more original movies. That's really the biggest, I think, overarching theme from this past week of spring break has been we need more original films, which I can't agree more with. That's just absolutely true. And if you came here today looking for a Snow White review, you're not going to get it here today because I haven't seen it for myself. I may go see the movie and I may actually like it, so we don't really know, but unlikely, but still. We have no idea. I haven't seen Snow White. I don't even exactly plan to. I'm not the target audience for sure, and I don't really care either about the movie, so I decided to wait for that one to come to streaming, then watch it one random night when I'm very sad and bored, so I'll leave it for that day. Eventually, in a few months, I'll see it on Disney Plus for sure. But really, the movie is bombing. It's flopping in critics-wise. The overarching reviews from fans and critics alike are not good at all. And also, finance-wise, the movie isn't doing good either at all, to really no one's surprise. And I definitely have been seeing, like I said, some conversations about original films. We need more of that. We don't want these live-action remakes anymore. So I decided to come here today to talk about the state of it, how we can fix it, what exactly started it, who started it, when, where, why, how, and how can we, I don't know, listen, there's a big conversation here to talk about it, so I decided here, I'm bored, I don't have anything planned for this week, and I'll just kind of squeeze it in here because, why not add to yap a little bit about something today, so I figured, let's do this one. And this episode today will really be structured like more of a mystery kind of thing. I'm a detective trying to figure out what happened to original films. Where are they? Why aren't they here anymore? Well, I have the answer for you. I'm definitely the Batman in this very massive, overarching mystery story, which it was pretty easy to crack, but whatever. So going into it here, I have the full main questions here to ask, and I have answers for all of them. So starting off here is with who? Who is responsible for all of these things? And I wouldn't say it's just Disney. That is, I guess, the answer. Disney is more of, I guess, the face of all of this stuff that's happening right now. I feel like when you think of cinema is dead, you're going to immediately think of, Snow White live action, Little Mermaid live action for really no reason, Cinderella live action for, once again, why? Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin is also randomly in here for why? Lion King is really ruined, and Dumbo also horribly reviewed, and they're not the only ones involved here with all of the remakes and sequels and reboots. There's a lot of other guys here in the main big Hollywood execs that are involved to where I can't say just Disney, I can say Universal, I can say a lot of other guys because it's truly not just them. Originally, a few hours before this episode I recorded, I saw a post here from Lights, Camera, Barstool. It's a podcast that's doing a pretty good job over there. Definitely have a lot of love for them. And they made this post that says, like, this is the top 10 most anticipated films for summer 2025. And the list goes as follows. Number 10, Freaker Friday, a legacy sequel. Number 9, Lilo and Stitch, live action remake. Number 8, How to Train Your Dragon, live action, which is, I don't even want to talk about that one, definitely not needed. Number 7 is 20 Years Later, legacy sequel. Number 6 is Ballerina, a sequel to John Wick. Number 5 is Thunderbolts, which is a franchise film from Marvel, you can say, whatever. Number 4, Superman, which is another Superman movie. Then at number 3, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, which is a sequel. Number 2, Fantastic Four, First Steps. That's another, franchise film from Marvel. Not really a sequel, more of an original movie in the franchise of Fantastic Four. The number 1 is Jurassic World Rebirth. And out of all 10 of those films, not a single one is an original film, which is definitely sparking a lot of controversy, but still it does show me that it's not just Disney here. There's some other studios, like with How to Train Your Dragon live action, that's Universal, not Disney, so we can't just blame Disney here for this. And Jurassic World Rebirth is also Universal, not just Disney, so it's not just them. It feels like really everyone is kind of grabbing in on all these live action remakes and sequels and likely sequels. For what reason? I have an answer for you coming up here in a little bit. And the second question here is, what are these studios doing? Well, they're making a lot of these really, it feels like, unnecessary sequels and remakes and reboots that really no one wants. I mean, who really asked for a live action Snow White film? I feel like back in the day, I sound like an old guy now, geez Louise. But back in the day, when I think the first like live action Disney film that really kind of got the ball rolling with all this was the Jungle Book movie, which was pretty cool at the time. It wasn't exactly like, the best thing since sliced bread, but I think the Jungle Book live action, Jon Favreau, he did a cool job here. And there's definitely been more other live action films before this one. Like previously, we had, this was years ago, decades ago. We had 101 Dalmatians, 1996. This is a live action movie that really no one talks about at all, but this kind of was an attempt to get the ball rolling with this kind of filmmaking, but really went nowhere. Also, Alice in Wonderland live action was my childhood for some reason, but also was a flop horrendously, so no one really cares. But still, it feels like a majority of these live action remakes and reboots and rehashes are a lot of what's making up theaters nowadays, which is very bad. And I'm not saying that all these sequels and stuff are bad, adaptations are bad. There's been a lot of incredible sequels, remakes, adaptations that I truly do love. An example here, like last year, this random film, Dune Part 2, is a sequel and an adaptation to an incredible novel, and it made for an incredible film. Furiosa is a prequel, sequel kind of thing. Then also Nosferatu is a remake. Challengers, an adaptation, which I love, giving a lot of love to that one. And then also a lot of great films here, like Gladiator 2 was, so-so. We don't really talk about that one at all. Then also, we have The Fall Guy, which is also Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt. It's a remake of an old TV show, which I think is cool. It's a great film. It's a great movie. I have no hate to that film at all. And the list goes on throughout the entire decade so far. Oppenheimer is an adaptation of a incredible biography. Then also, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I've given a lot of love to that one too. Also, Top Gun Maverick is a legacy sequel that I think is actually really, really good. So it's not that all of these sequels and reboots are exactly bad. It's just that we've seen all these before. It's kind of gotten out of hand. And, it makes for just really a frustrating time for the audience because we've seen all of it. It feels like it's just all sequels and stuff being thrown in our face we really don't want. And our third question here is, when did this all exactly start? And like I said, I feel like it all kind of started with The Jungle Book. And that movie was a smash hit, smash success, got a lot of love and praise. But now Disney, I feel like, is kind of going too far with it. It is a little bit depressing because there's been a lot of great films before that also. But I think the main one here, the main movie that really started everything was The Jungle Book. It wasn't definitely like, there's no way it was like the first ever live action remake. Like I said, we had 101 Dalmatians previously, but still, I feel like the main one that really got the ball rolling was The Jungle Book for sure. I know before that too was Cinderella, 2015. Never seen it before. I may never see it ever, but still, the main film that really started it all, I think, was Jungle Book, which was a solid film, but really, at what cost, I guess is the best thing to say. But even before that, I feel like there's been a lot of sequels, remakes, reboots have been very, very big and successful. Like, hey, Transformers is very big and successful. The MCU, we could talk about forever, for hours on end. The MCU really did, I guess, kind of kill cinema also for very, very sad reality it's been making for films and movies with all these very bad MCU films. And our fourth question here is, why is this happening? Why are we getting so many sequels and reboots and rehashes of all these old movies? For what reason is this happening? And I do have the answer. You may not like it, but this is your fault. And it's my fault too. I'm not going to just blame you. It's your fault. It's my fault. It's your dad's fault. It's your mom's fault. It's your brother, your friend, your neighbor. It's all of our faults because we're the ones who are buying into all this media and showing them, hey, they're making these sequels and stuff, and I'm still going to go see it despite an original film being out right now. Just to give a very cool analogy here, I love giving analogies. Let's say you own a supermarket, right? Okay, cool. So in your supermarket, inside of your deli section with all of your meats and stuff, you have chicken. That about a lot of your customers here are buying chicken. Let's say, for example, 80% of people are buying chicken. Then about 10% is beef, and then 5% is, fish, and then the other 5% is, like, vegan stuff. Let's say that, for example. So now, if 80% of your customers are buying chicken consistently, then you're going to cater to that majority 80% of your customers. That's not to say there's never going to be any more beef or fish or vegan products or even, I don't know, some other random meat out there. Turkey, for example, whatever. That's not to say you're never going to have those kind of meats, but still, you're going to be trying to, I guess, cater more to that 80% of people because that's making up most of your income. So it makes sense to develop more into more chicken products, pushing more money into it, making it a lot better for that 80% of your customers. Once again, not to say that there's never ever going to be the other 20% of other meats, but still, your priority is to please your customers. You're not going to please everyone ever in your entire life running the business, but still, you have to try and please the majority, which is definitely what you're going to be doing by putting more money into more chicken. So what does this mean? It means that most of the money in cinema today is being made from sequels and remakes and reboots. So therefore, studios are going to put more money into that. It's just basic math and finance. I'm not a finance major at all. I'm not Dave Ramsey, but still, it's just common sense. So in reality, look, I love movies. I love movies so much. I'm 21 years old. I'm in my closet recording a podcast making $0 an hour because I truly love films, but I love them enough to say that what's really saving movie theaters and saving cinema right now is these remakes and reboots. Unfortunately, that's the reality. It's because you're not going to see these other original films. I love films so much. As much as I love to say it, the reality is that no one's going to see Past Lives from Celine Song. And I love Past Lives a lot, but still, that is not a film that's going to make like $1 billion. There's no way on earth that will ever make $1 billion. But the reality is that people should be seeing more of these original films because they really are incredible. I think one of my biggest pet peeves from being in the film space, I'll call it whatever, is that I hear people say that all they make are sequels and reboots and remakes, yet those same people aren't going to go see these original films ever when they're in theaters, which is showing the studios, hey, they don't want to see the original movies. They don't really want to see Past Lives or the Licorice Pizza movie or Nope from Jordan Peele, which is original, made a lot of money, just making examples here. But they don't want to see the original films, so why put money into them? It's just like the analogy before, how I said that you have 80% of your customers are buying chicken. That doesn't mean that the other 20% is exactly bad, but it means that the other 80% of the chicken is going to be spoiled a little bit more. They're going to be invested into more, have more new toys and tricks to really just cater more to the chicken audience, making more chicken tenders and chicken fries and chicken nuggets, because that's where most of your audience is going. So therefore, it's just common sense to put more money into that and release more of that thing. And I think it's ridiculous to see that, yes, Disney is kind of crazy and they're making a Moana 2, which is just dumb. They're making a Zootopia 2, which is just dumb. No, I'm sorry. They're making a Moana live action, and it's not even been a full 20 years since that first Moana movie. That's insane to me to think about, but yet it's happening because people want more of the live action remakes and sequels and stuff. We're getting more Toy Story, we're getting more Incredibles, we're getting so much more of these sequels and stuff because people are eating it up like hotcakes, so that's what they're going to do more of. It's basic business and finance. I'm not Dave Ramsey, but I know common sense. It's just the reality of it all. And of course, the problem is also you need to watch more original films and show them and vote with your wallet that I don't really want to see more of these remakes and stuff. I want to see more films like Babylon being a 3-hour epic, incredible masterpiece that's original that no one saw, and I'm incredibly sad by that. Or The Holdovers, an incredible instant classic that's original, but yet no one saw the movie, which is incredibly sad once again. But you're going to go see the new Mufasa movie, even though no one saw that. Just making a point here again. Let's make a better one here. You're going to see the new Sonic 3, but you're not going to go see Babylon, which are completely different movies, but still, I'm just saying, you need to watch more original films to show them we need more of this and we want more of this in our theaters. And instead of going to go see the new Cinderella live action, maybe taking a chance on that new random A24 film with a budget of $10 million because it's really essential. So the why in all this, I really do think is just because of us as the consumers not consuming enough of the original projects, and that's really where it all ends and begins, is us voting with your wallet. You're the one who is single-handedly, well, not single-handedly, but you get my point here. We, me and you and all of us, are responsible for making these movies happen by supporting them in the theaters and on streaming as well. That's extremely important, and we need to show the studios as well. And I really essentially have no kind of hate or ranting to studios because really they're just being smart here. I mean, it's kind of like a studio, it's like a bank. A bank is making investments and they want to make good investments to make their money back. And that's exactly what a studio is doing. And it is kind of sad to see that a lot of these original films aren't being made anymore, but still, you gotta think in the head of a business. If most of my buyers are buying chicken, I'm gonna sell more chicken. I'm gonna put more money into chicken. It's just common sense, all right? That's all I'm saying. So that's essentially it. My mini rant is just out of the way. I mean, essentially, once again, watch more original films. They're really, really good. Just watch more original content, please. That's the only way we're going to fix this, is if you do that. And also, if you're, for some reason, a big president of a studio listening to this right now, then make more original projects. Fund that random $10 million movie from that random director because it's his passion project. It may not be good, but still, you never know. You may find your next Toy Story or your next Incredibles movie. You may find your next big thing. So just give it a shot and not put $320 million into the electric state. That's also a very big problem as well. I just touched one single small aspect of filmmaking that's very bad right now, which is originals and stuff that's going on right now. There's so many more things I could talk about when it comes to what's wrong with cinema right now, but I'm not going to have that time today to do that, unfortunately. Maybe one day I'll revisit this and talk about something else, but for now, that's where it is. So just please watch original stuff. There's a lot of good ones out there, and you're going to love them all. I promise you will. Please, just watch them all. And you know what? Before we head out, I'll just give you a few random original films that are very, very good that you should definitely tap into because they really are just incredible. Number one, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I give it 5 out of 5 for a reason. This is, right now, I think the best depiction of the multiverse by far in any kind of movie ever. It's an incredible film. Watch it right now, please. Number 2, After Sun. Another A24 film that's tragic, that's beautiful and raw, that you would love so much. Number 3, Past Lives. Again, A24, but it's incredible. Number 4, The Holdovers. Once again, incredible. Number 5, Babylon. You get it. You guessed it again. It's incredible. 6, Licorice Pizza. That's really, really good too. Also, we have Inside, Bo Burnham. That's also a great one just in general to watch, whether it's original or not. Please watch that movie. Number 6, American Fiction. That's another great movie also. The Brutalist is very long, but still, you'll love it. The list goes on. There's so many incredible, incredible films that you would really enjoy that are all original that you're just not watching, unfortunately. And I'm not trying to knock any sequels either. There's plenty of great sequels also, but still, if you want to fix this problem, then watch more originals because that's the only way we're going to fix it. That's the only way, is by watching more originals. And also, if you're a studio exec for some reason listening to this right now, then fund the small movies also because they're also incredible and essential, and we need more of them. I'm not going to yap too much longer. This is about a 20-minute episode at this point. this is definitely in much need of a part 2, for sure. Definitely in need of a part 2. But for now, this is where it sits. Our Superman series starts soon. I'm going on vacation in a couple of days here, so I'm getting ready for that right now. I've been busy with just spring break and work and all these different things, so I'm going to be trying to get back into a groove again. But just want to take a time here to just squeeze in something for this week. Didn't want to leave you guys hanging dry again for a week in a row. So here you go with me not ranting. I'm not ranting. I'm just passionate about all this stuff, and I need more originals like After Sun. And we're not going to get it without not going to go see Lilo and Stitch, which, it's just, please, just watch more originals. That's all I can say. Until the next time we talk about Superman next week, hopefully at this point, I don't even know anymore. But until we talk about Superman, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok as well. I'm actually back logged into, which is also very cool and very fun. Happy to be back on there. Twitter is annoying, but I'm on there too, I guess, sometimes as well. YouTube and also anywhere you can find your podcast. We're on all those all the time, every day, no, every week, sorry. But until then, stay swiped out, stay cool, watch more original films. And until next time, I'll see you boys in the movies.